All right, let's dive into something that, let's be honest, can feel a little intimidating for a lot of designers. The whole technical setup for the Whiteport Design Studio course. We're going to go on a little journey here, and the goal is to take that feeling of, uh-oh, this is complicated, and turn it into, okay, I got this. Does this sound at all familiar? I bet it does. This is probably the number one thing we hear from amazing designers who are totally ready to grow, but they feel like the tools are this giant wall in front of them. If that's you, I just want you to know you are so not alone. In fact, this is the perfect place for us to start. And here's the absolute truth. The thing you have to keep in mind. Every single expert you admire, every designer who seems to have it all figured out, they all started right here. Uncertain, maybe a little nervous, wondering if they could really get the hang of it. Well, they did, and you will too. So let's just face that technical hurdle head on. Our first mission is super simple. We're going to demystify all these tools. We're going to take that scary sounding jargon and just turn it into ideas that actually make sense. First up, Git and GitHub. People get these mixed up all the time. Are they the same thing? Not really. And the best way to get it is with this analogy. Think of Git as the engine. It's the powerful thing working behind the scenes, keeping track of every single change you make. And GitHub? Well, GitHub is the car. It's the sleek, user-friendly website where you actually store and share your project. So what is GitHub, really? Let's just forget the whole intimidating tech reputation for a second. At its heart, it's basically just cloud storage, but with a superpower. And that superpower is a time machine. Every time you save your work, it doesn't just back it up. It creates a specific version you can go back to at any time. It's like the ultimate safety net for your entire design process. Okay, so now we know what it is, let's take that first big step. We are going to create your professional home on the internet, your very first GitHub repository. And you are going to be amazed at how simple this is. Seriously, you just go to github.com and sign up, just like you would for any other website. A little pro tip, try to pick a professional sounding username because you might end up sharing this with clients one day. You verify your email and, well, that's literally it. And just like that, you've done it. No, really, take a second and let that sink in. That thing that might have seemed kind of complicated a few minutes ago, you just did it. That feeling of progress right there, we're going to keep building on that. Now, when you create your first project folder, they call it a repository, you have a little choice to make. You can have a single repo where all your design specs and maybe some future code live together, which, by the way, is perfect for beginners. Or you could have separate repos for everything, which is more of a big corporate thing. For this course, trust me, we're going with the single repo. It keeps everything simple and all in one place. So once you've named your repository and you click that Create button, boom, that's it. You are now officially a GitHub user. You have a professional space to house your work. Feels pretty good, right? Okay, now let's build the workshop where you'll actually do the designing. All right, we have our cloud storage all set up. Now it's time to build your local workshop. We're going to install something called an IDE, and I promise you it is not nearly as complicated as that acronym sounds. So what on earth is an IDE? It's just a fancy acronym for your digital workspace. And here's the best way to think about it. If Microsoft Word is where you write documents, an IDE is your workspace for crafting design specifications. For WDS, we highly recommend an app called Cursor because it's built for the kind of AI-assisted work we'll be doing. And installing it is something you've done 1,000 times before. You just download it, click through the installer like any other application, pick a light or dark theme, the important choice, and then you sign in with that brand new GitHub account you just created. And that seamlessly connects your local computer to your cloud storage. Okay, so inside your new IDE, you're going to find something called a terminal. And yeah, for a lot of designers, that little black box with the blinking cursor looks pretty scary. It feels like you need to be some kind of coding genius just to touch it. But here's the secret. You do not need to learn some new, complex language. For this entire course, you are almost always just going to be copying commands that we give you and pasting them into the terminal. That's it. It's just another way to talk to your computer, typing instead of clicking. And now for the magic trick. We've got our home in the cloud on GitHub, and we've got our workshop on our computer. The next step is to connect them. We're going to bring a copy of your project home. We do this with a process called cloning. And all that really means is making a local copy of your project on your computer that stays perfectly in sync with what's on GitHub. You can think of it exactly like Dropbox Sync, but with that super powerful version history, that time machine built right in. And the process is just so simple. You copy the URL from your GitHub page, you open up that terminal in your IDE, and you just type git clone and then paste the link. But now check out step 4. This is the really cool part. If you don't happen to have Git installed yet, your IDE is smart enough to see that. It'll pop up and ask if you want to install it. You click one button and it does everything for you. And just like that, get us set up. Okay, with all the tools locked and loaded, we've made it to the final and honestly the most exciting part of this whole setup. It's time to bring in the Whiteport Design Studio methodology and meet your personal AI guide, Mimir. First, you'll create a special folder called Docs. And what's so cool about this is it lays out the entire WDS process for you. These 8 folders aren't just random names. They are the complete, battle-tested design methodology that's going to guide you all the way from the first idea to the final delivery. This folder becomes the single source of truth for your entire project. And now you meet your guide. Mimir is the AI orchestrator for WDS. And what this means is that from this moment forward, you are never alone. Anytime you feel stuck, anytime you have a question, or you just need a little direction, you just type @WDS Mimir right there in your IDE, and your guide will be there to help you out. And with that, you're done. The setup is complete. You are ready to go. But hey, before we move on, let's just hit pause for a second and look back at everything you just did. No, seriously, take a moment. A lot of designers get stuck at this stage for a long time, but you just pushed right through it. Do you realize what a big deal that is? I mean, look at this list. You created a GitHub account and a professional repository. You installed a professional-grade IDE. You actually used the command line to clone your first project. You integrated the entire WDS framework, and you activated your personal AI guide. This wasn't just about clicking a few buttons. This was a transformation. You may have started out feeling like a nervous beginner, but right now, you are a designer who is equipped with a fully professional industry-standard setup. So let's end with this thought. After everything you just accomplished, there is no more, "I might be able to do this." You just proved to yourself that you are able. The setup is done, your environment is ready, and your guide, Mimir, is waiting for you. Welcome to WDS.